Hello, everybody, and good morning. And guess what time it is? It's just after 11 o'clock, which means it's halftime. Your favorite lunch hour sports talk show where we talk everything about sports and everything that has literally nothing to do with sports. That's what we're all about here on the Sports Network of Brew Sports. So welcome to halftime. I am Tanner Burke. I am lead host today, along with my co-host, Beckham Colburn, and our prop man, Baxter Colburn, holding up my inevitable.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us.
Beckham is my inevitable termination on the Sports Network, so it's good to get him some experience now while we can. So why not?
He wanted to check out the things. He's like, listen, if I'm going to take over for Tanner one day, I need to know exactly how he does what he does, so that way I can properly drink.
You don't have to learn much
and take everything over.
You basically just need to smile and nod and open up your eyes real wide and
he's pretty
just
good
listen to Baxter talk. So
he's pretty. If you look at him,
So is this his beer or is this your beer?
Yes.
Yeah, the answer
it's
is
actually
yes.
breast milk, just in a beer.
It is.
He didn't want to feel awkward. He didn't want to put a bottle on the set, so he's like, "Look, I'll put Mom's breast milk in a beer bottle, and that way I'll feel like one of the guys."
I feel like one of the guys.
Yes,
that's great.
Exactly. I mean, like you said, look at him. He's got the wide eyes. He's looking around. He's checking out the cameras. I mean, he already seems to be doing really good, honestly.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
He has a lot of feelings about LeVar Ball, too.
He has officially replaced you as the most adorable person on set.
Oh, stop now. Look at this. He's loving life. He's smiling.
Does he have a hot take about LeVar Ball?
He doesn't. He pooped his diaper this morning. That was his hot take on LeVar Ball.
Perfect. Well, yes. We have a great show, of course. Unkwa Sonye, one of our correspondents, will be here to talk the NBA.
Playoff race is heating up.
Tony Romo is still in limbo, so we'll be talking a little bit about that. And
exciting
apparently
stuff.
He's considering taking a job in television.
Why not? It's good money.
Yeah.
That's what Tebow should do.
I agree completely. So we can talk about that a little bit. And there's also some other crazy stuff going on in the sports world. I also have a new segment for us to try out today.
I like new segments.
So today we're going to do Start, Sit, Cut, of course, per usual. But I came up with a new segment called Stuck on an Island.
Stuck on an Island,
so
okay.
Stay tuned for that. That'll be towards the end of the show, and I have some good stuff for you.
He's already stealing the show, by the way. He's smiling.
Baxter? Well, yeah. Or Beckham? Which one are you?
Whoever you are. Somebody with a B.
I get you guys confused. You look too much alike.
We'll have him stand up here a little bit better in the shot. There you go.
I love it.
Check out the world. Yeah, looking good.
He's a blessing. I wanted to say a blessing in disguise, but it's not really a disguise. Just look at him. He's great.
If you can actually see him, honestly.
All about it. So yes, though, thank you for tuning in. Of course, be sure to share, like, comment, and spread out our wonderful program across the interwebs.
You have a surprise today too.
I do. I have a couple surprises
Except
today.
I brought my surprise on set with me.
Yours
is just drinking excessively.
Yes, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but we will bring that surprise out tomorrow. There are some people that do not know what the surprise is.
I want to know what the surprise is.
So I don't want to spoil it yet. But I have other surprises for you.
I like surprises.
I do. I have other surprises for you. If you haven't seen my beautiful shirt, my wonderful mother sent me a care package.
She just knows.
Periodic
drinker. That should just be excessive alcoholic.
Well, yeah, but don't worry. She sent one for you, too.
She sent one for me? Oh, my goodness.
I took the large because I think I'm a little bit bigger than you.
I agree.
I'm sorry, but...
Well, thanks, Mom.
There's a couple more things in there.
Oh.
So it's What's Up Wednesday, and this is What's Up right now. I got a care package for my mom, and I have some great things in here, so let's pull them out.
Are we going to just keep doing this? All right.
I might as well.
Might as well. All right. I'm excited.
Of course, naturally, coming from Buffalo, you can only get this in Buffalo, and it's the original location of the Buffalo Wing. So she sent actual Anchor Bar Buffalo Wing sauce. So you and I both get a bottle of actual hot sauce. He's already drooling over it.
He's drooling all over it.
He's all about it. He's all about it.
Thrilled. He's heard you talk about Buffalo too long, so he decided to throw up a little bit. Unfortunately, that didn't coincide very well with what you had going on.
Yeah, usually I get like a. It'll take like an hour before I actually end up throwing up in my mouth.
Yes.
I'm good at concealing it, but yes. So
I should have brought the Packers bib that I was wearing the other day on the set. That might have been
beneficial. My mom has been looking for one.
For a Packers bib?
Yes, or a Bills bib.
A Bills bib,
but she could not find one. So
since you're taking your sweet time to get married and have children, she figured piggyback off of my life.
My mom sent two koozies.
Oh,
Andre Reed and Jim Kelly. I chose Andre Reed for you because of our Hall of Fame conversation.
Thank
for
you.
Andre Reed,
I appreciate Andre Reed. And I was a wide receiver when I wasn't a kicker, so this makes a lot of sense. So
there you go. There's one more thing.
One more
This one's
thing.
a little different. Not really
Okay.
sure. Not really sure how I feel about it, but I mean, it's hilarious. It's sugar lip scrub.
Sugar lip scrub.
Not
What
sure
does that even
exactly
mean?
what lip scrub is, but it's chicken wing sugar lip scrub. I don't know if it actually tastes or smells like chicken wing, but if it does, great, because I've never wanted to smell and taste like chicken wing more when I can't actually eat chicken wings.
I feel like
so
that would be like the best
it's
thing to
great.
bring on like a first date if you didn't like the girl. You're like, look, I gotta put a
you
lip
just-
balm on, and then you try to go kiss her and be like,
Did you just come from a Fridays? Like, what is
like,
that?
oh, is this not gonna work out? Oh, sorry. Thought maybe this would work.
Oh my gosh! So yeah, we have some people
exciting
commenting
things there.
already.
Well,
of
thank you.
course,
I'm sure they're great comments.
Jamie says, "Hi, Beckham."
I can see her in her voice.
Jeff
Like,
Scheibe says, "Periodic warm beer drinker." It's true. That's true. Let's see. Jamie says she forgot about me. Don't worry, Jamie.
everybody
hasn't-
forgets
she-
about him.
she-
Oh,
hasn't forgot
Jamie.
about you
Oh,
yet.
Mom forgot about her.
And Adam says Mama Burke is the best, which is very true.
Hashtag Team Burke.
So. Hashtag Team Burke. Yes. So one more thing. Yeah. So my mom actually made these glasses too. So I got a little Bills
Jeez.
glass for me, so I can have that. To
Mama
drink
Burke,
on
she
set.
should get a franchise on what she's got
I
going on.
have a local foreign local beer.
Excuse me?
Yes, Ellicottville Brewing Company in Western New York, and it's called Keeping It Peel.
Keeping it
with
peel.
grapefruit and lime peel. So we'll
Sounds
take care of that.
phenomenal.
Yeah. So what's going on in your life? I've taken up all the spotlight here.
Well, my
aside
life has
from
been a pretty good
Beckham,
day
but
so far, honestly. I mean, my son is out. It's Bring Your Son to Work Day.
I see that.
So Beckham is
totally forgot.
Beckham had some hot takes for us.
I got
earlier.
that confused. I brought somebody else.
He had a lot of things to say about it.
Yeah.
You know. Like I said, he pooped out his thoughts about LeVar Ball earlier in the day.
Yeah,
so,
most people do.
We're not going to show that, unfortunately, so we don't want to gross people out on their lunch hour. But aside from that, no, it's a great day. I mean, today is Taco Wednesday at the Colburn household.
Yes, it
so
is.
I'm excited about that.
Very excited.
Just got done with two up front. Some great soccer stuff there. Great guests as well, too.
Oh,
And there it is.
I just he does it so silently.
He does. He's a silent puker.
It's amazing.
Wow. I mean, if we have a towel, I'm happy to clean him up here, but maybe we should just cut to you and I'll go.
All
I'll go
right,
be a
so-
father.
You'll go be
I'll be back. It's your show, Tanner. Congratulations.
It's my show. This is what happens. We're already blown off the rails. People are throwing up, talking about Buffalo. Anyways, yes, so we will bring on our correspondent here in a moment to talk the NBA playoffs, and what the H is going on in Cleveland. Unkwa Asanye is our correspondent today. Unkwa, are you there, my friend?
Good morning. In fact, I am.
Good morning.
Raptor.
How are you
At
today,
least-
buddy?
Not bad. At least good afternoon from my neck of the woods anyway. You want to talk about things going haywire? My computer decided that it's not going to open Skype this morning. So from my very
Naturally.
venerable phone, which I
course.
paid a lot of money for, that's where we're doing this today. So
Hey, that's all right with me. Whatever works. You look great. So I mean,
Aw.
it's of course it's a blessing to have you on.
thank
I'm
you.
glad we
I
were
can't
able to
look
make
better.
it
I
work
can't
out.
look better than Beckham though.
You can't. No, nobody can. Even with throw up all
Not
over.
many people can, unfortunately. I'm still trying.
I look like that on a late Friday night, right around bar close.
Easy. It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. Yeah, so a lot going on in the NBA right now, of course, as you know. We're getting geared up for the playoffs, and there are some people on the bubble, or some teams on the bubble that are potentially making a run to make it into the playoffs, but there are also some teams that are disappointing. And the one that comes to my mind first, of course, is the Cleveland Cavaliers. What the heck is going on in Cleveland? They've lost 4 out of their last 6. And they are 5-8 in their last 13. So should we be concerned about Cleveland and the Cavs and LeBron James at all moving into the playoffs even?
Not even a little bit. Because the Cavs do this every single year. They go through a stretch where they look somewhat human, and everyone goes, oh my goodness, LeBron James' stranglehold on the Eastern Conference is going to end, and then he ends up in the finals again.
Of course.
I mean, I understand that his roster is a little bit different than it was in years past, but I expect the status quo to stay the same. He's going to go back to the finals.
Well, there's no doubting the fact that I almost said LeVar. Oh my
LeVar
God!
James.
Get him out of your
Get it-
system already.
I can't. I do have something
Even
I want to
Unkwa
talk
is tired
about
of you
LeVar
talking
later,
about
but,
him.
There's no doubting that LeBron James is the greatest player in basketball, at least at this moment. Of course, it's debatable in the history of the sport, but It's one of those things where it's towards the end of the season, and I strongly believe that maybe the team's just a little bit worn out and they're just relaxing right now. And once they get into the playoffs, like you said, they're going to turn it back on, and I would not be surprised to see them in the championship again. But looking at the Eastern Conference, there's a team that is ahead of Cleveland right now because of Cleveland's recent woes, the Boston Celtics. Is this a team that you saw taking first place in the Eastern Conference, and should we expect a lot out of them in the playoffs and maybe even a championship berth?
To be honest with you, when we looked at Boston and the moves that they made, nobody really expected Isaiah Thomas to repeat the season he had last year. And I'm not sure if anyone expected this group as a whole to mesh as well as it has. Being a number one seed, not a chance. I do think that they might have a second-round run in them, but to be honest, as far as number one seeds go, I don't really see it for them. I mean, this is a team that's supposed to win a lot of regular season games just off of coaching and effort alone. But we all know in the NBA, once the calendar turns to April, the beasts come out. And Miami, as an 8 seed, is looking pretty scary right now. So I'm not overseeing Boston go down in the first round, to be honest with you.
Well,
it could very much happen.
When you really look at it, too, from everything that Boston's done this season, I think that you, number one, have to just be excited. This is the first time Boston's been relevant since guys like Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett were on their team, and even Ray Allen as well, too. So I don't think if you're a Boston fan, you should be mad about your season if you make it maybe to the second round and then lose there. I think you should be very happy because Boston is actually relevant. We're actually talking about the Celtics again in a good manner instead of being like, remember those glory days and the Celtics actually cared? Like, they are making moves and they're sitting in first place. It may not finish the season like that, but they figured it out and they're exciting to watch, and it's good to talk about somebody besides the Cavaliers for once.
Or the Patriots in Boston. Sometimes when
we're
totally
not going there.
Totally different.
I just want to say, sometimes when teams like the Red Sox or the Celtics start playing well, I'm like, oh, I can kind of root for them. But then I remember that they're also from Boston.
And then you just hate everybody.
And I'm like, wait,
I
can't root for the same people that also root for the Patriots. So
you understand.
Yeah,
yes.
I understand.
Would you ever marry a Patriots fan?
No. If Giselle walked in and knocked on my door and said, will you marry me, I would say no.
Really?
But
what if she was holding Mama's buffalo dip?
I would at least let her take me out to dinner.
Fair enough.
I'm not a Mongol. I mean, I'm a decent human being.
I like a free meal.
I do like a free meal.
I think that makes you more
It's
of a
safe to
Mongol.
say she's not taking me out to McDonald's.
Trevor
so.
thinks the Cavs are going to repeat, getting some bad games out of their system in the meantime. He
Yeah,
says.
I don't think he's wrong. I mean, are we going to see another rematch between Golden State and Cleveland? Maybe. I would like to
healthy,
see it. But
the cliche, if everyone's healthy, then yes, we will.
Everybody wants to see that, but I don't know if that's good or bad for sports. But talking about the Warriors, Kevin Durant's going to come back, but we're not really sure how he's going to affect the team as a whole and how he's going to play. Unqual, do you have any thoughts on Kevin Durant and what he will bring to the table when he eventually does come back and get back on the court for the Warriors?
I think to properly evaluate it, we have to look at the team before Kevin Durant was signed in the first place. Yes, they lost a lot of depth in the front court when Bogut and Ezeli both got let go, but we brought this whole team back, and folks are saying they were already pretty strong. And then you bring in Kevin Durant. I think Durant can only aid them, not hurt them. So even if he's only at 60%, 70% strength to end the regular season, by the time the playoffs come around, the Warriors will be right where they're supposed to be.
You look at the NBA right now, and there's most of at least half in each conference is already locked up to get playoff spots. Is there anybody outside of the playoffs looking in that might switch spots with maybe the 8th or the 7th seed in either respective conference?
I'm not entirely sure about that, to be honest with you. I mean, in the East, Chicago has been teetering in and out of that 8th spot most of the second half of this season, and I don't think we expected them to do too much anyway. Yes, they had Dwayne Wade, Jimmy Butler, and Rajon Rondo, and all of that was hyped up, but we haven't really seen them playing well together, and that is evident in where they are now. And in the West, Denver, I'm not sure. Dallas is always an eye roll. I think the 8 seeds on both sides are set.
That's one of the questions I was gonna get into was, do we have any people who are hovering around the bubble that are maybe contenders who can move their way in, and do we have any guys who are maybe in the 6 and 7 spot or the 8 spot who are pretenders? I mean, I'm looking at teams that are maybe surprising a little bit. I guess what I'm asking is, do we have a dark horse that's going to surprise some people? Like, I always think about the Bucks. Like, I mean, they haven't really surprised so many people this year, but they're sitting in the 6th spot, and they got a great young team. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is quietly being one of the more elite players in the league. Do we have a team that's going to surprise some people, and do we have any pretenders that are currently sitting in playoff spots?
I think Boston's a pretender, to be honest with you.
Wow, all right.
I mean, Boston, like I said before, Boston is one of those teams that plays really well in the regular season, and then they have the opportunity to get shocked by Miami or by Milwaukee. Indiana, I think, is just there by chance.
That's
interesting. And as far as the West is concerned, LA, are you serious? They do this every year. They're either somewhere between 2 or 5 seed, and then they crap the bed. You saw what happened against Houston just a couple years ago. They had a 3-1 lead and blew it. The Clippers wear the pretender tag every single year until we see otherwise. It's ridiculous.
Talking about Houston, too, let's switch gears to the MVP race. James Harden has just been playing on another level this season, arguably one of the best, if not the best, in the NBA. Is he going to be a shoo-in for the MVP race? He came out earlier this week saying, listen, I think you should have to play in all 82 games to be considered to be an MVP. Obviously, Russell Westbrook is averaging 30, 10, and 10, which is mind-blowing within itself, but is Russell Westbrook the shoo-in? Is it James Harden? Is it going to be LeBron James? Like, what can we nail down an MVP yet with just a couple of games left to go?
If there was ever a time to split the award in half and give it to 2 players, this is that year. And I say that because you have the efficiency of what James Harden is doing in Houston, and for Oklahoma City, you have the sheer will of what Russell Westbrook is doing. To think that these two used to be teammates is completely mind-boggling, and I think we'll get to that in some other lifetime. But as far as these two guys are concerned, I think Russell Westbrook should get the MVP over James Harden only because his supporting cast without him is absolutely horrible.
I think it should go to Giannis.
I'll stop it.
Just had to say that. I'm sorry.
It's I think the MVP award in every sport is so overrated because you get people like LeBron and you get people like Sidney Crosby who win it every single year.
I knew we were going to come back to Sidney Crosby. We were going to find a way to come back to
Nobody likes Sidney. Nobody likes
does.
Sidney.
He's a flopper.
Nobody.
We already talked about this. Yeah, I think everybody's talking about who's going to win the MVP, who's going to win the MVP. Who cares? I'm worried about who's going to win the championship, and there are a couple teams that I think could take over the seat in the top of the league over Cleveland and Golden State.
You're right. No,
MVP is it's a consolation prize. Not even a consolation prize.
It depends on who
it's
it goes
on the
to.
back.
It's not a consolation prize if it doesn't go to
LeBron.
the LeBron or the Steph Curry. If it goes to Russ, if it goes to James Harden, those are well-deserved guys.
Yes.
If it goes to LeBron, then it's just another, thousands of trophies on his mantle that nobody cares about.
Collecting dust.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, look at all the great times I was successful. Yay me. No one cares. Like, move on.
Sometimes greatness is monotonous.
That's true.
It is.
You're right. I have one other question for you, Unqua. I wanted to get your thoughts about this. Adam Silver came out the other day talking about how we are going to potentially see women head coaches in the NBA sooner rather than later. How do you react to something like that? We see a couple of assistant coaches already at the Spurs and the Kings. The Clippers, I think, have a video manager as well, too. That's a female. Mm-hmm. How does that change the perception of the NBA if suddenly you have a female head coach, and obviously what is it's a men's league, obviously, but how does that change the perception of what the NBA is if a woman takes a head coaching job in the next even 5 years?
In my opinion, I don't think it really changes the perception of the NBA. I think instead it shows that women can really play ball in a supposedly man's world. And I think that's been a really solid topic of conversation for the past few years because you're seeing more vocal representation from women who are in these fields. And you're also seeing men like Greg Popovich and even like the Kings organization, the only thing the Kings organization has done right in the past 3 years, aside from trying to keep Boogie Cousins, is hiring Nancy Lieberman. Like that's literally it. So when we look at the way the NBA is, I don't think the perception of them will change, but I think that they'll get a few more thumbs up around the world, period, for having a woman in that spot. Now, I don't know what sooner rather than later it means. That's really, really vague, and I almost wish somebody had pressed Adam Silver on that just a little bit. But with that being said, there's no reason why it can't happen, and there's no reason why it shouldn't happen. Becky Hammon's been cutting her teeth in the league when she was with the Stars before she even retired. That's how she got in with Greg Popovich in the first place.
Tanner, what do you think about this?
The shirt?
Well, yeah, the shirt looks great. I know I look good, but what do you?
Your shirt looks great.
Thank you.
A
female head coach.
It's like the MVP. I don't think it really matters. If she's fit for the job, then great.
Interesting.
Sounds
You
good
don't
to me.
think it changes anything? It's not going to be like, whoa, women's head coach.
I mean, who's gonna have? I don't have a problem with it. Is anybody?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I don't think you need to make a big deal out of it.
I'm not trying to make a bigger deal about it.
Is it?
It's going to be in the beginning.
Yeah,
everybody
absolutely.
knows that.
I understand, absolutely.
And she's going
I
to be
agree.
scrutinized for every small little X and O that she writes on her little chalkboard there until she actually, is 20 games into the season.
Game,
She's
right?
she's gonna have to earn the respect, but that's just how the media and how the fans are gonna have to take it. But like any job, I would like to think that anybody applying for a job, if they're the most qualified person, then yeah, they should get hired. I don't see a problem with that. I do have a question though. It's kind of off topic, but I love when you get players like Jaromir Jagr who can just play forever. And in the NBA, the NBA's version of Jaromir Jagr is Vince Carter.
Vince Carter.
And I was working the game where Vince Carter put up 24 points on the Bucks, and I was sitting there and I'm like, this guy is 40 years old, and he still looks like Vince Carter. Now, obviously, he doesn't do that every night, but how much longer can Vince Carter stay in the league? He's been in the league for 18 years. He's played with that's why I bring up Milwaukee is he played against Jason Kidd, and Jason Kidd is currently coaching the Bucks. And Vince is still out there on the court doing his thing. So, how much longer can he keep it up?
I think he's going to go for his round 20 years, and then right before year 21, he's going to call it quits.
That makes sense. Nice even number.
Now we have some comments here on Facebook that I'll run through real quick. Charles says, "Great show, man. This is dope. You're darn right."
Thanks, Charles.
Andrew says, every time I scroll past that giraffe giving birth, it's pooping. Now I see a baby puking. Why do I even have a Facebook?
That's true.
He's not wrong. It's too bad the giraffe gets 30,000 more viewers than us.
If you tuned in late, you missed a lot.
You missed
the first 7 minutes of the show.
Oh, man. Let's see.
Trevor thinks he's like the NFL version of Jagr is Tom Brady.
He's probably right.
Or so he thinks.
Jagr's not the greatest of all time, but
he's not. Jagr's not the ghost.
Here's another one. Where did it go?
I don't know.
And it's gone. Would love to see the Clippers, the old Boston Braves, get it done finally in the postseason. They're Buffalo Braves.
Buffalo.
Did I say Boston?
You said Boston. You have Boston on the mind.
All right, Baxter, it's all you. Take it away, man.
All right, I will. Well, Unqua, it's been a pleasure, sir. We appreciate you joining us today. Where can people find you on social media and keep up with what you got going on in your life?
On the Twitter, @_ASONYE. Just follow me. I follow back, I promise.
Phenomenal.
Beautiful.
We appreciate your time, Unqua. We will talk to you again soon, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, as always.
Unqua Sonye, one of the numerous correspondents we've got here on the Brew Sports Network.
He's so much fun to have on. He really is. He's great.
He's a nice guy.
He is.
Just gives it to you real.
You can tell he does, and he's very charismatic, and just adds for a good
salute
good talk. It's a good talk.
I agree. You're a good talk.
Thank you. That's a nice shirt you got there.
Yeah, thank you. Your mom says that as well, too. So. Yeah. And that's not even a mom joke. Literally, your mom's like, shirts look great, guys. Thank you, Mom.
Great.
Thank you, Mama Burke. We appreciate your shirts.
Oh, man.
You did wonderful. I'm going to have to take a hard pass on that chapstick, though. We were smelling it, and it
smells like chicken wings.
Yeah, I like to eat chicken wings. I don't want to eat my chapstick.
I don't want my lips to taste like chicken wings unless I'm eating chicken wings.
Yes, exactly. I would rather take some of that sauce you brought and just smear that on my lips and be like, Mom, at least I get something out of that instead of fresh, clean lips. I'd rather have buffalo wings on my lips instead of fresh, clean lips.
I agree completely.
What else is in store today, Tanner? You're giving us.
We got a bunch of stuff. The Chelsea Football Club is going to give, or they're talking about giving Hazard €300,000 a week.
Okay,
that's a lot of money.
It is.
That's a lot of money. So I thought we'd be nice to talk about professional athletes and their salaries, and maybe are they making too much money, and are they using it in the best way possible?
Sure.
I wanted to get your thoughts on it. I have some stats here that I will pull up. So the NBA takes the cake for the highest average yearly salary per player, and it's right about at $5.15 million per player. Obviously, some guys are making more than that, but this is an average number just to take a look at it as a whole. The MLB falling right behind that at $3.2 million, the NHL at $2.4, and surprisingly, the NFL is behind that at $1.9.
You said this is guaranteed money?
This is yearly salary per player.
The average yearly salary.
This is their salary. I don't think this takes into account their signing bonuses or anything like that, or incentives or anything. This is just their guaranteed salary. I'm assuming what the cap hit is. So we got guys who are making like $100 million.
Jay Cutler.
Obviously, they're not going to get all of that. Some of that's not guaranteed. But even $60 million guaranteed is a lot of money.
True.
For essentially a glorified gladiator.
True.
Are we paying these people too much money? And should we reconsider what we're doing with ourselves when we're buying into a multi-billion-dollar industry and just to watch a guy throw a ball around?
Listen, I've always been a huge component of the fact that I think that athletes are overpaid. I think that the amount of money they get paid and the product that necessarily comes back doesn't always match. I think you get a lot of people that believe that once you're a professional athlete, like, oh, I should be making $100 million a year. Who puts a value on that? It's the players themselves and the agents that are trying to be like, look at me, I'm making so much money. I think that athletes are overpaid. I think that even if you cut their salaries in half, most athletes would still live a very normal life. I could do a lot if I made $1 million a year. I could have a great life, let alone these guys that are trying to make $100 million over 5 or 6 years. You don't need that much money. Humans are idiots. We don't need that much money. We really don't. And I know I'm insulting both Tanner and I, which, is par for the course. But at the same time, like, I don't need $20 million. No. I don't. Would I take it? Sure, yes, but I don't need it. Nobody needs $100 million to go play a game.
I agree. That's one of the things, though. Once you have a certain amount of money, is the extra $10 million really going to do anything for you? Some of these guys hold out. Some people will hold out for an extra $20 million. And it's like, you're already going to be making 30 guaranteed. Why do you need the extra 10? And is it really worth that much to you?
Because they get inside their heads, and it's their agents in the back door that are saying, because the agents obviously get money out of this as well, too. That's probably that's why you see so many contracts that are, 6 years, $150 million, because the agents maybe only take I only take 5% or whatever they take.
But they
still get an insanely ridiculous amount of money that they make at the end of the day, too. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes things that go into contracts. That's why you see these insane contracts. Like when I see a baseball player get like an 8-year, $175 million deal, I'm like, in no universe do you need that much money. I know you're not going to get all of it, but even still, if you get your guaranteed whatever, $80 million, what are you going to do? You're never going to spend that much money. I get it. You can set your family up. You can do all of this.
You'd think that you would never spend that much money, but here's the deal. I don't know if you've seen...
I would get bored spending money.
I agree. And
I already get bored spending $50 at the grocery store.
So you got guys who are coming into professional sports who are 18, 19, 20 years old. And you hand them a check for week 1, and it's got their signing bonus and everything on it, and it's a multi-million-dollar check.
Yes.
What are they going to go do? They're going to go blow it. Okay? So not only are they getting paid a lot of money, but they're not spending it very wisely. There are people out there that are. I always go back to Gronkowski.
I think he's got a great story.
He has a great plan. I don't know if you've ever seen the 30 for 30 documentary.
I know enough about him to know what it is, but I've never seen it.
Not just about Gronkowski, but there's a 30 for 30 documentary called Broke, and it talks about athletes going broke once they retire.
Yeah. Now,
these are guys who are making millions and millions and millions of dollars throughout their career. Even at the veteran minimum, you're still making $750,000 a year, and these guys are going broke once they retire. Now, here's the thing. Why are they not investing their money? I almost think that the league should have almost like a financial advisor for each team or something for the players, so that they're not just going out and buying a $300 million house and then they retire and they're like, wait, I can't pay for this.
Well, realistically, you need to put a little bit of, you have to have. And you have to be smart. You have to be an adult at the end of the day. Like when you are a 25-year-old person, and all of a sudden, like, granted, yes, like I'm 25 years old. If somebody tomorrow was like, Baxter, here's $100 million to broadcast on Bruce Sports. I mean, yes, there's numerous things that fly through your head. It's like, oh, I'm going to buy a yacht. I'm going to buy a house in Versailles. Like, I'm going to do everything. But like,
they want to live the dream.
Everybody wants to live the dream,
the sweet
of course.
life.
Yeah.
You know?
Hashtag YOLO. You only live once. Like, you got to live your dream. But like, for me, like, and this is the thing. If I ever got a lot of money, the first thing I would do is I would go back and pay off all my debt. I don't have a lot, but I mean,
and then invest some of it in something.
Invest
so that
some
you have
of it.
something
I would talk to people that actually
to.
handle money on a daily basis. I am a broadcaster. I know nothing. I took the bare minimum of math classes to get through school.
We went to school for communications, not economics.
I'm not an accountant. Okay, like I have no problem admitting that my wife did our taxes this
year.
I
would gladly send part of my check over to somebody to invest for me.
100%.
Totally fine.
And I mean, if I've got $100 million to throw around, then yes, I don't mind throwing. Like, hey, here's $1 million. Invest it as you see fit.
Yeah.
Like, why not? Do what you will.
But that's not what these players are doing, and I think that's where the problem comes in. Adam on Facebook says, you got guys like Vince Young going to Cheesecake Factory every night and spending thousands.
Have you had their cheesecake?
It's amazing. It's the best.
I would spend thousands of dollars.
Let me just tell you, Baxter, I've been to the Cheesecake Factory. They have the best cheesecake in the world. But I will say, the only place that has better cheesecake is LeVar Tower.
It's LeVar.
LeVar Ball.
LeVar.
Here's the deal, though.
Well, people are also making good. I mean,
LeVar. Adam, is that what we were going to say? Adam also says LeVar Ball is a great example of the problem in this nation and how we view athletics. He's not wrong. LeVar Ball is exploiting his kids to make money, and his kids are going to make a lot of money. But we don't know if they're going to make a lot of money.
I would never do that to my son. Like, yes, if my son is incredibly talented at whatever, he decides to be a world-class golfer, good for him. I'm not going to be out at the course being like, hey, better than Tiger Woods.
If my kid told me, and if my kid came up to me and was like, hey, like, I want to start a clothing brand, can you run it for me? Yeah, I would absolutely, you know what I mean? But I'm not about to be like, oh, my son is the best player on UCLA's basketball team. I'm going to go into the media, embarrass him and his family and his team, and make, a couple bucks while I do it. $60. It'd be like paying $60 for this graphic tee.
That's a better shirt than the BBB.
This is way better. This is awesome.
Like, and it's made with love. Trevor makes a good point. He said a lot of people think poorly of Marshawn Lynch's image, but he hasn't spent a penny of his $50 million he made through the NFL salary, laughing all the way to the bank.
Well, that's a great point, because what I was going to say about Gronkowski is Gronkowski has not spent a single penny of any of his salaried money either.
Yep.
The only thing, and he's still spending money. Now, here's the deal. This is why I love what Gronkowski is doing. I'm not saying that he's smart.
Somebody
by any
get
means.
this on record. He's
great.
Complimenting the Patriots.
Well, Gronkowski's from Buffalo.
Still a Patriot.
He grew up rooting for the Bills. It's different.
Still a Patriot.
Well, he's still a Bills fan at heart. He knows that.
You do anything to justify this. Anyway.
Here's the deal. So Gronkowski hasn't spent a single penny of any of his salaried income over the course of his career so far. But he's been smart in the sense that he's also taken on some sponsorship deals.
Yeah, he lives off of those.
And he lives off of that handsomely. I don't think he's struggling. He's still going to Vegas and partying.
And smacking guys in the chest.
It's not a hidden secret. So that's my shtick on that. Are they being paid too much? I don't think so, because each industry in itself is a multi-billion. I mean, you buy a team, each team is worth about $1 billion.
It is. I still think I stand on the side that I think athletes are overpaid dramatically. I think there's a lot of money around that could be used for numerous other things, or leagues that are struggling. Like the NFL doesn't need to make $10 billion every year.
Oh, but they're a nonprofit.
But so it's a tax write-off. Totally get it. Totally fine. My bad, Roger.
Roger Goodell he runs a nonprofit organization.
Starts to cut. Roger Goodell, Donald Trump, LeVar Ball. Go. I'm going to take a drink while you figure this out.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the same philosophy that my dad used yesterday. I'm going to sit LeVar Ball just so I can watch him sit on the bench. I'm going to cut Donald Trump because ain't nobody got time for that. And what was the other one?
Roger Goodell.
I'm going to start Roger Goodell. God, can I cut them all? Can I sit Goodell too? I'm just going to sit Goodell. I'm going to tank. I'm going to wait for the draft next year.
Oh, yes.
So, so to sum it up.
Maybe Rex Ryan will come up in the draft next year.
Oh, my God. To sum it up, are they being overpaid? Probably. But there's no going back from that. Professional athletes, as far as for the last 75 years, have been paid pretty handsomely. But the salaries keep going up, which I think is a problem. The salary caps keep going up, which I don't think is a good thing.
Blows my
Inflation's
mind.
bad.
Inflation. No, who cares?
Yeah.
Cap it.
Cap it.
Put a cap in that.
Stop raising
league.
the salary cap.
Tom makes a good point on Facebook, too. He says, I've always followed the model that you can't take it with you. So spend, spend, spend. Look, listen, yes, I agree with that, Tom. You can't take it with you. You can't go to heaven and be like, Jesus, price of admission is how much? Oh, $25 million? Okay, well, I mean, I made $100 million, so keep the change. Like, what are you going to do? You're not spending money.
No.
You know, if you make like 1 trillion pesos, you're not going to use those when you're in Mexico, or you're going to use them in Mexico, but you're not going to use them in heaven.
I think the players just need to be smarter with their money and how they spend it.
I agree. Don't be juvenile.
I think that's the biggest
Don't
thing.
Be an idiot.
And the best way to combat that is because these guys didn't all go to college, and they did, but like, did they really?
No.
Did they really?
No, they went long enough to make a name for themselves.
I need to find the stat for how many people actually graduated from college that are in professional sports, or the percentage of people. But here's the thing:
not nearly enough.
These guys aren't going to go. I mean, they'll probably go out and get a job somewhere else, but they're not making millions of dollars.
Steal our jobs.
They're not making millions of dollars for the rest of their lives. So they need to be smarter about it, and they're not necessarily the smartest people in some cases.
True.
So maybe what we need to do is provide an academic advisor or a board of academic advisors that essentially not necessarily monitor their spending habits, but are there for people who want to do certain things like, and I guess they probably could, if a player who's making millions of dollars really wanted to have an academic advisor, he could probably buy one. It's not a problem.
It's not rocket
science.
But
I think it would be a good thing from a PR standpoint and to encourage players, because if they don't do it themselves, leave it up to the parents to do it for them, which in this case would be the leagues. I would say let the leagues give the players an opportunity to seek out academic advising. Baxter just leaves sometimes. I don't know. Baxter is the master of the quick change, so I've learned that very quickly working on this show. So, direct quote from Bills quarterback Cardale Jones during time at Ohio State: "I didn't come here to play school. I came here to play football."
Well, he plays for the Bills, so how smart could he possibly be?
I didn't come here to play school. It's amazing.
It's stupid.
There you go. He's a backup quarterback.
He's
for the
an
Buffalo
idiot.
Bills.
No, don't be an idiot, Cardell. That's why nobody likes you.
I didn't come here to play football. I didn't come here to play broadcast. I came here to play. Okay.
No.
All right, moving on. I'm done talking about money because these people make a lot more money than me.
Speaking of money.
Yeah. Okay.
Tony Romo wants money.
Tony Romo wants money. Here's the deal. Jerry Jones came out and said, I was going to say, I'd move your beer, but
no, it's fine.
It was kind of in the way. It was hiding okay. Jerry Jones came out and said that they're not in a rush with Tony Romo. They know where he's at, and he has options. The deadline to decide what the heck happens with Tony Romo is going to be training camp. So he's still got plenty of time, which is frustrating.
He just wants to get the best deal that he can possibly get from the Texans. That's all he cares about.
Okay. There are also sources saying that Tony Romo may just end up being a broadcaster.
He's interested in it. Tony and Jay Cutler should just both retire. They can take their peach butts and move along with themselves.
There's definitely no way that he signs somewhere and ends up as a backup quarterback.
No,
so maybe
Tony
he's at the point where he's just like,
unfortunately.
Maybe he's at the point where he's just like, I just don't really want to play anymore, but the paycheck sounds nice.
Well, yeah.
So it's going to be like a Kyle Orton situation where he's like, I could go make a quick mill and play for the Buffalo Bills.
Susie wants a new car. Might as well go do that. Yeah, that's a smart idea.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, anybody you can go play for Buffalo.
Oh, my God.
Buffalo's desperate enough. They will give you $1 million to $5 million to go and suck for a couple of games, and then they'll cut you.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a foolproof plan. I would go play for Buffalo. I know I'm not going to win, but I'm going to get paid. It's all about the money, right?
Well, I guess, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. It's all about the money, money, money.
So what's going to happen with Tony Romo?
Tony Romo is going to play. He'll play in the NFL in 2017, and then he will retire after that.
And then he'll be a broadcaster for Fox Sports
and
or
he
CBS.
will come broadcast for Brew Sports. Jay Cutler and Tony Romo have already both been contacted by our representatives, and they will be hosting the Pick Six instead of Tanner Burke because they know more about football.
And
but it
Beckham
already got
will take
intercepted.
over on halftime.
It already got intercepted on the way to showing up on Tuesday, so Tanner, welcome back. We appreciate you.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Long time host, first time caller.
I don't think we should ever take calls, honestly. I think that would be a worse idea. That's why we ask you to comment on Facebook.
Our producer David's already busy enough as it is. We don't need to start giving him phone calls too. Well, that's the purpose of our comment section. So you don't even have to call in.
Keep sharing.
Your comments are right there. You don't even have to call in.
Tom wants to know if Trevor has a beer.
Adam says Tony Romo.
He does not have a beer.
What if Tony Romo went to Cleveland?
Well, Cleveland would be a Super Bowl contender.
No. All right, Cleveland also. I didn't have this on the schedule today, but since Cleveland came up, let's talk about it.
It's your show today. It's Wednesday.
Cleveland,
Wednesday fun day.
The
birthday.
players on the Cleveland Browns are apparently not happy with the uniforms and the color schemes
because it says brown and they're orange.
They're yes.
Literally, a baby would be like, "That's orange."
They are the brown streak of the NFL.
Like it doesn't make any sense.
I can say that.
Change the names.
I don't have a problem with the names, and I like their new jerseys. I really do like their new jerseys.
How much can you do with white, black, and dark brown and poopy orange? Like, you can't do anything.
Can't do much.
You know what you can't do? You can't do with it. That's what you can do.
You can't win a Super Bowl.
That's for sure. Look at the Patriots. They have great jerseys.
No.
Champions.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with their new jerseys, but I understand. I've had a problem with their jerseys and their helmet forever. I've never at one point been like, oh, man.
Well, they don't have a
gotta
logo.
Give me a Browns jersey.
They're literally orange.
Well, that's exactly
That is the logo.
But here's the deal. The organization is considering completely revamping the logo.
They should.
And the helmet.
They should.
Absolutely they should.
What is a brown?
Their logo is their helmet, and their helmet is the logo. I'm an alcoholic because I drink, and I drink because I'm an alcoholic.
I understand so much more about the world now. But yes, Adam, it is true.
I'm sad because I'm a Bills fan, but I'm a Bills fan because I'm sad.
I'm a Packers fan because I like to win, and I like to win because I'm a Packers fan.
And that's why we don't like Baxter Colburn. Is it true that they are named after Jim Brown?
Probably.
I don't know.
Maybe they should. I'd rather the Cleveland Gyms. Cleveland Slim Jims.
I don't know.
What would be a better name? Let's throw this out as a poll question. What would be a better name? The Cleveland Whats? I'd like to know. Cleveland, literally anything else's. The Cleveland Whites, the Cleveland Blacks.
The Cleveland Footy McFoot Faces.
I would be on board with the Cleveland Footy McFaces.
I'd buy a jersey.
I think that.
Let's start a petition right now. If the San Diego MLS team does not get the Footy McFootface team name, let's petition the Browns to take over that opportunity because it is a guaranteed success. We're in an era where all people want is stupid humor and bad puns and just stupidity all together. So Footy McFootface is like it's gold. It's gold. Well, like I said, when we were talking about it before, people are going to come into town and be like, oh, we're playing the Footy McFootfaces. This will be easy. And then guess what? The Footy McFootfaces just come out, and they're just like big burly men with beards. They just beat the crap out of
Crush
you.
you. Jeff wants to know if the Packers play the Bills this year. We don't know that yet, Jeff, because the NFL hasn't released their schedule yet.
We played each other 2 years ago.
So we have another 2 years.
3 years ago?
Every 4 years you repeat.
So I don't think it's this year, but it might be next year.
What did we play last year? What division did we play last year?
Adam says, no, Jeff, we play better teams this year.
True. It's not completely a W right
great.
Off the bat.
That's great.
Packers, Bills, next time that happens, we should go. What else?
2 other quick things before we start getting into our last segment. Jay Cutler says he may not play in 2017.
Jay Cutler or Jay Cutler's ass?
Jay Cutler's ass.
Have you not seen this?
Naked Cutler? Our producer's giving me the no. So
you haven't seen
maybe
this.
that's why it popped up. But the headline that I saw said naked Jay Cutler may not play in 2017. It was a picture of him in his trunks and
No,
Cabo.
it wasn't. There was no trunks.
Yeah, well, his girlfriend was like,
it's his wife.
Whatever. Naked Jay Cutler.
It's a review picture of Jay Cutler just like.
He's naked?
Yes.
Is he
ass?
Is his leg perched like a flamingo?
You don't see anything dangling, but you see the full backside. You see him walking off into the distance, giving the middle finger.
Wow.
I found it rather interesting. If you look very closely on his right butt cheek, it says "Property of Green Bay Packers." If you look really closely, it's there.
It's in fine print.
And he has a tally mark for each of his interceptions that he's thrown on his left cheek.
Okay, here's another one. The Oakland Raiders, of course, moving to Las Vegas. Totally ridiculous.
Boo.
Don't necessarily need to talk about that in particular, but the executive committee and staff of the Oakland Raiders stadium, or current stadium, said that if the Raiders decide to stay for an extra season, which is currently being talked about, the Raiders stadium, current Oakland stadium, would not have them.
It's true.
In 2019.
That is true.
So they have them for the next 2 years.
I think they should do a tour. I think they should play all 16 games on the road. A farewell tour to Oakland.
A farewell tour?
Why not? They should go play in London. Maybe they'll go play in China. Maybe they'll go play in...
That wouldn't be a terrible idea. What if the team just played in, like, if they needed an extra year to build their BS stadium in Vegas? What if they're just like, we're just going to go play in London for a year?
Have you seen
and
the
then
stadium?
Meet us
it's
in
a
Vegas.
Sexy stadium. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. Did you know?
I didn't.
Mark Davis,
Oh,
the
Mark
man
Davis.
that owns the Raiders.
Yes.
He registered the website domain Las Vegas Raiders 20 years ago.
Are you serious?
20 years ago on Christmas Day, he registered the domain name Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, my God. I didn't see that coming.
Aliens.
The Simpsons did it first.
It's true. They probably did.
They probably did.
They predicted Trump. They predicted the Holocaust.
They predicted Beckham throwing up on the table today.
Yeah. You know, we have 9 minutes left, and we're still 50 comments away.
Still 50 comments away. Here's the deal. We're going to go into start, sit, cut here in a moment. So give us some topics for start, sit, cut. Things you want us to start, things you want us to sit, and things you want us to cut. Usually, I mean, obviously I would like it to be sports related, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the case.
No
fun. Give us your ideas. I'm going to share this really quick. Tell people we're about to go into start, sit, and cut. I have another new exciting segment that I want to do today called Stuck on an Island. So I'm gonna challenge Baxter here in just a moment.
According to our producer, he says AFL teams have played all road games when they didn't have a home. They technically played home games near but not in the city at their opponent. The more you know. Trevor also says Marshawn Lynch will be the savior of the Raiders' last winning moments in the Bay Area. I don't know where would be a good idea. Where should the Raiders play? Maybe they should merge with another team. The Raiders should just dissolve for a year, and the players should all get a chance to actually be successful, and then they should stop. Or remember back in the day when the Eagles and the Steelers combined teams, and it was the Steagles?
The Steagles?
The Steagles. They did it for 1 year.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But they just eliminate.
I think it was during.
team?
I think it was during the war or something. But they actually joined forces for an entire season.
So
it was
the players
Steagles.
that were available ended up.
If anybody knows where I can find a Steagles jersey, I would so buy a Steagles
like half
jersey.
and half right down the middle, It
was like in the 30s or the 40s.
It's like the moms of athletes who have two sons playing in the game.
I don't love either son more, but But if you really look, I've got a half a centimeter more of this jersey, so I love this son more. But don't tell my son. People are already throwing in some start sit cuts. Where are we going? Start sit cut first, or are we going on an island? Or are we on a boat?
Let's do on an island first, because I don't know if it's going to be a long segment, but I want to at least give you what I have.
Keep sending start sit cuts.
All right, so we're stuck on an island. Baxter, you're stuck on an island.
With you?
I want you to choose, and I'll go off of mine. And if we want to do it again in the future, we'll tell you. We'll give you a chance to do it too. So you're stuck on an island. You get to choose 3 sports figures or things to have on the island with you, and then you also have to choose a food that would be the only food that you would eat while you are stuck on the island, and a beverage that would be the only beverage you could drink while you are stuck on the island. Should I go first?
If you want to.
Okay.
I think you were going to go first regardless.
Yes,
so that's
I was.
Fine.
I was.
Lead off.
Okay, so I'm stuck on an island. There are 3 people who are hanging out with me.
Hey.
First off,
did I make the cut?
You're gonna need somebody to take care of the dirty work.
True.
Arian Foster, because if you can fight a wolf, you can probably save my life on an island.
Very true.
So Arian Foster is on my island with me. Listen, you're gonna get bored sometimes.
It's true.
And you're gonna need to talk some campfire stories.
True.
Bob Costas is coming with me, because that guy can talk, and he's got stories for days.
True.
He's probably bringing Al Michaels with him too, but that's just
that
maybe.
Doesn't count though.
Bob Costas, he's someone to listen to. My third guy, Bo Jackson.
Because nobody catches Bo.
Because nobody catches Bo, and if we happen to find a television and some electricity, we can play some Tecmo, because he's always going to have it on him. But there's always a wild card though. Like somebody's gonna find their way in your luggage and just sneak on the trip with you. So unfortunately, LeVar Ball will be on the island with me. You have to hate somebody who's on the island.
Die.
Here's the deal. Let's be real.
First?
I'm not gonna hate Bob Costas, Bo Jackson, maybe Arian Foster, But
Arian and LeVar are going to form
you
a
need
friendship.
you need somebody that needs to be the outcast, and in this case, it's LeVar Ball. And
He's always the outcast.
If you get hungry and you get sick of what you're eating, at the end of the day,
True. Now you make a very valid
LeVar
point.
Ball.
Hashtag LeVar Ball. What are you eating? What are you drinking?
So my food that is going to be if I had to choose one food that I'd be stuck on the island with, it'd be the only thing I could eat. I would choose the entire sausage spread. So like brats,
spread. Okay.
Like Italian sausages.
You put a lot of thought and time into this.
I did. Do you want to hear what I'm drinking?
Can only imagine.
If I had one thing I could drink, if I had one thing that I could only drink on this island, it would be Applebee's $3 Long Island iced teas.
Thought maybe it was the tears of all the Buffalo Bills fans.
42 different flavors.
Wow.
So on my island, I have Bob Costas, Bo Jackson, Arian Foster, and LeVar Ball found his way into my luggage, and we're eating the entire spread of sausages, and we're drinking $3 Long Islands from Applebee's.
It makes a lot of sense to me, really. When you really break it down, I think it makes a lot of sense. You did good.
Do you want to give it a shot, or should we?
Absolutely. No,
okay.
I've already got some. So, I mean, you need someone that's going to help you build things. You need something that's going to be a strong, solid force.
Yes.
J.J. Watt.
J.J.
Watt is
that's
going
safe.
to be on my island.
That's
He's
safe.
a strong, safe guy that is going to keep everybody entertained. He's going to be that man that's going to pick things up and put them down.
Yes.
Similar to you, I like stories. So I'm going to Al Michaels is going to be there because I love Al Michaels.
Okay.
So
He's great.
I had Al Michaels in my mind
Al
before
Michaels
you said
is
him.
great.
So Al Michaels is coming with me. He's going to hang out. He's going to tell us stories. Tell us about the 1980 Winter Olympics and the time he called minor league baseball in Hawaii and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
So Al Michaels is going to be there. I'm going to bring a female. I'm going to bring Ronda Rousey. Somebody that can also not only keep us safe but also is fun entertainment and kind of
Entertainment?
hang with the guys.
Oh, all right.
She
She really is like one of the bros, though.
She really is. That's why I think she'd
She
be
really
great.
is. She's just one of the guys.
I think she'd be great.
Okay.
Occasionally she'll have to leave to go get embarrassed by Holly Holm, but she'll be there.
Yes.
Maybe Rhonda and Holly will switch occasionally.
Still make
depending
millions of dollars.
Whoever wins will stay on the island.
Yes.
Rhonda and Holly will occasionally fight every once in a while.
Okay, so you have Al Michaels, Ronda Rousey, and
J.J. Watt.
And J.J. Watt.
Yes.
What are you bringing? What's the one food that you would only be able to eat on this island?
I would bring every form of pasta that you can bring.
Oh.
So pasta.
So are you saying that you may be able to grow your own like tomatoes and stuff and be able to make your pasta
so.
sauce?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You never
down
said it was a desert island. You
I
said
didn't.
It was just an island.
I didn't.
I'm
was
living
open
on
for debate.
Sicily. That's where I'm.
This is an island.
And what am I drinking? I mean, if I'm having pasta, I'm drinking wine.
What
When
kind of
live in
wine
a
do you
constant
like?
state
What kind of wine
of
do you
euphoria. It depends on the day.
like a Malbec?
Red or white.
I like a Malbec.
Good for you.
Yeah. Okay.
More of an Italiano.
All right. So that was Stuck on an Island.
like
Good
it.
stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. I
right.
thought about that last night
We've
when I
been-
was like mid sleep. And I was
Nice.
like, what would I? I was like, man, if I was stuck on an island, what would I do? I'll ask Baxter.
So you just sit at
I'll
home. I
ask
feel like you just
Baxter.
sit in bed all night and just drink
what,
excessively.
What can I do tomorrow that's totally stupid and ridiculous? Oh, stuck on an
I
island.
already won that. I already had my son on set and he threw up. All right, we got some starts and cuts, Burke. We got to get to
Yeah,
here.
Tom says he'll bring Spam. No
Thanks, Tom.
No
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Start, sit, cut. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stupid bug keeps flying. Come here, you.
I'm going to cut lunch, start dinner, and sit breakfast because breakfast is my favorite meal of the day, but it's not the best meal of the day.
It's true. I actually have to completely agree with you. Lunch,
Cut
I
lunch.
can give or take lunch, honestly.
Skip lunch sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you just catch a fly in front of me?
I did. I crushed its hopes.
I
and
just
dreams.
watched it on the delay here. I was like, wow, that's impressive. I was too busy looking at comments. Gross. Oh, Adam's got a good one. Marshawn Lynch, Adrian Peterson, or Jamal Charles?
I'm assuming all in their prime, right?
No. This is
Currently?
probably current.
Cut
Let's do both. We'll do both. We'll do
Okay.
current and then in their prime.
Okay, so currently, start AP, sit Marshawn, cut Jamal. In their prime for me, start AP, sit Jamal, cut Marshawn.
Right now, I would start Marshawn because I think he's still in great shape. I wouldn't really be worried about
you
it.
could make with your life.
I would sit AP because he's got a lot to still be put out on the table, and I'm going to have to cut Jamal Charles because he's a poor man's AP.
You're a poor
in
man's
their
AP.
prime, in their prime, absolutely, I start AP. You have to start AP. He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a
I would sit
workhorse.
I would sit Marshawn because he is a head case, and I'm going to have to cut Jamal Charles again.
Okay.
So,
Peter, Paul, and George. Who the hell is Peter, Paul, and George? Okay. We move on. Rap, hip-hop, and blues. Start blues. Yep.
Isn't hip-hop and rap, aren't they, like, close to being the same thing? I'm gonna sit hip-hop because I love 90s hip-hop. I was actually listening to it this morning.
Bop, bop,
No, not pop.
Bop.
90s hip-hop. You know, like Slick Rick. All right.
Same for me. Start blues, sit hip-hop, cut rap. No one likes rap. Milwaukee, Chicago, Gary, Indiana.
Cut Gary, Indiana. I think we can agree on that.
I think we can all nuke Gary.
I'm going to
Indiana.
sit Chicago because I don't need to be there all the time. But
It's
I
too
do
big of
love
a city
it.
for me. I agree.
Start Milwaukee.
We keep agreeing on things here. Kurt says, not sure if you did this one last time. Ronaldo, Pele, and Beckham. David Beckham.
Did you see this? First of all, did you see the statue?
I've heard it's terrifying. I haven't seen it yet.
It's really bad.
It's terrifying.
It's
is
really
he like?
bad.
Did they do his?
I didn't see the whole statue, but I saw Ronaldo's face next to the actual bust of Ronaldo, and it is really bad. It looks like he's like getting like mid punch in the face. It's awful.
Terrible.
So what would you do? Who would you start sitting cut there?
Start David Beckham, sit Pele, cut Ronaldo.
Okay.
Ronaldo's too much of a flopper and a baby for my liking.
Yeah, I'd have to cut Ronaldo. He's a flopper.
True. Adam says, whoa, Baxter leaves out his wife and picks Rhonda. # doghouse. Listen. Listen.
She's not even in the room anymore, so we're
Tanner didn't even bring his girlfriend.
I didn't.
I didn't even bring my son.
Are you kidding me? Of course I'm gonna choose Bo Jackson over my girlfriend. I want to hang out with Bo.
Nobody
you
catches
kidding
Bo,
me?
though.
It's
So
Bo.
how are you going
Bo
to hang out?
Jackson.
How are you going to hang out with Bo if
I
nobody
didn't
catches
say you're
Bo?
going to be stuck on the island forever. I just said you're going to be stuck on the island. I want to be stuck on this island eating brats and drinking Long Islands from Applebee's for $3 with Bo Jackson, Bob Costas, and
I suppose.
who was my third dude?
Arian Foster.
Arian Foster. I could probably
So
take it or
random.
leave that. Well, he said he could fight a wolf. I'm like, oh, you need
Doesn't
somebody.
mean he actually can fight him, though.
Well, I would like to find out.
You're losing your mind. Jeff has a good one. Bob Euchre, Al Michaels, and Bob Costas.
Just a bit outside.
Al Michaels wins every day in my book. Bob Costas can go
Get pink eye in the Olympics.
pink eye and he can get cut. Euchre's going to be a close second. Euchre's already sitting anyway during his game, so I might as well sit him and keep him comfortable.
That one's really tough. I'm going to have to start Bob Costas just because I think he has the greatest job in the world.
What?
He gets to go to every single
So
major
does
sporting event,
Al Michaels.
and he's just like the most relatable. Well, that's what I was gonna sit Al Michaels. I'm gonna have to cut Euchre, but it's a tough cut. It's like cutting your longtime captain of your favorite
I don't
team.
think that makes a lot of sense to me personally, but
So
whatever. What do I know?
I have to do it because I like baseball, but I don't love baseball. And Al Michaels and Bob Costas cover everything.
Gotcha.
And they're both great. I want to have a beer with both of them.
Sure. Do what you got to do.
Okay.
All right. Anything
I
else
will.
for us at all? I'm going to assume that's a no, so you can find us on brewsportsnet.com. You can find us on Facebook. Go and invite your friends and hit that like button. Get the notifications so you know when we go live as well, too. You can get halftime every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time, live right here on the Brew Sports Network. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. Find us on YouTube. Find Tanner Burke at Banner Turk on Twitter, at Baxter Colburn, # Brew Sports. Drink beer, be merry.
And use chicken wing lipstick.
Literally the worst idea
lip
you
balm.
could possibly ever do.
It literally smells like chicken wings.
It's literally the worst thing. I will never use it. Thank you for the gift, but I'm never going to wear it or use it.
Until tomorrow, my friend.
Until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.
Jessica Kleinschmidt's going to be here tomorrow.
Oh, she's the best.
She's going to fire
the
some
best.
people up.
She's the best.
Best
my
baseball
God.
correspondent we've ever had.
Best.
Close us out, Tanner. It's your show, not today.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Of course, we always appreciate your comments. Your comments drive the topic of conversation for us. It makes our lives a lot easier, and it tends to let the train derail very quickly, which is always a phenomenal thing. Stay tuned for tomorrow for my favorite segment of the week, What's for Lunch, where I tell you what I will be eating for lunch using my favorite sports figures. So until tomorrow, I am Tanner Burke.
And I'm Baxter Colburn.
That's
Thanks
Baxter
so much
Colburn.
for tuning in, guys. It's been an absolute joy today.
Until tomorrow. We have a show later on today?
Happy hour. 4
Happy
p.m.,
hour
4
at
p.m.
4
Central.
o'clock.
College
Be sure
road
to tune
trip
in
at
for that.
5.
And, we will see you. I will see you tomorrow. Baxter will see you at 4 o'clock. All right. Thank you for watching.
See ya.